Alrighty, before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that there's currently an event going out, the Tricker Soulstone, where you can get 300 free Soulstones. All you gotta do is go to your Rayark Pass and type in the code. I will put the code in the description. You'll go to the redeem code part, type it in, and then it should say successfully sent, and you should have 300 Soulstones in your inbox. For those that you don't know, Rayark Pass is like a website that's linked to Rayark. You can link your account, your Rayark account, to your Rayark Pass, and then you can use that. It just does kind of different things for games. Mostly, I guess it's used for redeeming codes. I don't know why they don't just do it in-game, but whatever. So yeah, make sure if you don't know about Rayark Pass, go ahead and Google Rayark Pass, get your account all situated, and then you can begin redeeming codes. Like I said, the code for the 300 free Soulstones will be in the description of this video, so feel free to get that. All right, now moving on to the video, what this one's going to be about is I'm going to go over the updates that are not balance changes. If you didn't see my balance change video yet, I highly recommend you watch it. I'm going to discuss what I think, meta changes would be based off of the balance changes and what the balance changes are to the different cards. So obviously, like always, there's been a soft reset for ranks. Let's see how much I dropped. I think I dropped everything went to around gold. Okay, so I dropped around 600 trophies per faction, something like that. So now I'm in gold, which, yes, 1,000 trophies is gold now, not diamond. So they changed the ranks. Oops, that's not what I was looking for. They changed the ranks. And I think this is nice because there's going to be inflation for reasons I don't agree with. We'll get over that later. So now if you want to get to diamond, they misspelled diamond. They didn't put the D at the end. Oh, where'd it go? So now if you want to get to diamond, you have to get to 1,200 trophies instead of 1,000. If you want to get to master, now you have to get to 1,500 trophies instead of 1,300. And legend is back to 1,800 where it originally was at the season 1. And why that's a good idea is because of a bad idea, in my opinion, that they implemented. I believe this is probably the first time that they're doing something that I don't agree with. Let's see if I can find. Oh yeah, point system adjusted. So it says here, point increase and decrease will now no longer be tied to the opponent and will only be determined by the player's points. What this means is that the difference between your points and your opponent's points does not matter. It doesn't matter if you're a 1,000 trophy player going against a 700 trophy player, a 1,000 player going against a 1,000 player, or a 1,000 player going against a 1,300 player. So it says here, points deducted for losses will increase according to an increased score. For example, at a score of 1,200, the points players receive for winning or losing will be plus 24 or minus 18. When the score reaches 1,500, the points players receive for winning/losing will be plus 24 minus 24. So this sucks, and let me explain why. Basically, rank doesn't matter now in matchmaking at all. It doesn't matter what rank player you're going against. It doesn't matter. All that matters is your current rank. This also means there's going to be quite a bit of inflation. I believe it caps out at plus 24, minus 24. I don't believe it keeps going to where it'll be plus 24, minus 30. At least that's what it's making it seem like. Yeah, although this might be incorrect information, I'll have to confirm that. If it does get to the point where it is like plus 24, minus 32, then that's even worse. So why I don't like this is because if you get to let's say 1,500 points, right? You earned that, right? And obviously, if you lose to somebody who's a worse player, rank speaking, you should lose more points. That's how Elo system works. Is how you maintain integrity with the ranking system, right? And it normally evens out to where people end up where they belong. The issue with the previous ranking system was the matchmaking. So that's all fine and good, but it becomes skewed when you're constantly matched with people that are a wildly different rank than you. Ranking systems work a lot better when there's a larger pool of players to choose from, so that way you can be matched with people that are similar level. So what happens is that it'll keep matching against somebody that's at the same rank as you, and then if you win, then that means you're better. So you gain an increase of points, or well, not necessarily you better, but you performed better at least in that match. All right, and if you lose, then you lose some points, and then you get matched against someone at the same rank again, and you just keeps going, and you end up where you're supposed to belong. And it should be that if you have a 50% win rate, or even like a 50.1% win rate, right, you should climb steadily. Because if you're 50% win rate means you belong where you're at, right? If you lose as often as you win, that means that's where you belong. If you win more than you lose, then obviously you should go to a higher rank because you're performing better than average. And if you lose more than you win, then of course your rank should decrease because you're performing worse than average. And that's how it always balances out. With this, it doesn't matter. If you're a diamond and you win against a Masters, you gain 24 trophies. If you're a diamond and you win against a gold, you get 24 trophies. So it just feels like it's undermining the whole ranking situation. So I feel like it's not going to accurately place people, and I think a lot of people are going to get much higher ranked than they're supposed to be. Yeah, I think you'll be able to get, I'm going to say 200 or 300 trophies higher than you normally would be able to at your current skill level. Which means I think there's going to be a lot of people that are at like 2,000 trophies with factions. So the reason this happened, I'm assuming, is because lots of high-ranked players were complaining about it being impossible to climb due to the fact that they were constantly getting matched with people that are 300 trophies lower. And this means you have to have at least a 90% win rate to climb, because per loss you'll lose about 50 trophies, and per win you'll gain about 6 or 7 trophies. This is something I complain about too all the time. However, the solution is not this. This is not the solution. This is a terrible, terrible little bandage. It's not going to do anything. It's not. I think it's going to make it worse. Not necessarily. I mean, higher ranking players are going to be able to climb now. It's just they kind of ruined the whole system to be able to allow this. In my opinion, again, the correct fix to this would have been just to improve matchmaking. Make it easier for you to get matched against people of the same skill level. Because I hear a lot of people that were like in Diamond complaining about getting matched with high Master players. And then there's Master players that were complaining about getting matched with Diamonds. So I think if they just, fix up the matchmaking a bit, then everything would sort itself out. But instead, this is what they're opting for, and I absolutely hate it. But again, I mean, we haven't really seen how it performs, so who knows? Maybe it'll be fine. But at first glance, I absolutely detest it with all of my heart and soul. All right. So now that I've finished ranting about that, of course, new cards are here. I'll be going over that at the end. There's a new Halloween Playground event, but I don't care about Playground. All I do for Playground is get the rewards. Oh yeah, they're giving Battlefield Protection now. So that means once you hit Diamond, you cannot go out of Diamond. All right, so if you get to that sweet 1200, now you're a Diamond player. Even if you lose 10 times in a row, don't worry, you're still Diamond. I don't really mind about that. I think it'll get rid of a lot of anxiety that players will face, where they'll get to, like, let's say Masters, and then they'll stop playing because they're afraid of getting knocked out of Masters, not being able to climb back up. So I think this is fine. Even if it does contribute to point inflation. But like I said, I think it's that gives more positives than it gives negatives, unlike the other thing they changed. All right, so and then also huge changes to the Tower of Honor. Oh yeah, they also increased the level cap. It's now 80 instead of 60. I think this is nice. I think they plan to keep increasing the level cap. I'm not sure. That would make sense to me. In my opinion, I think the best way to get gold is actually through leveling up. All right, and so yeah, Tower of Honor. So they refreshed it. They gave it new rewards, and they refreshed it, so everyone starts again at, I think the rewards were from 3,000 and up. I think from 3,000 up, you got new rewards, and they changed the rewards, reset it, and now you can go up to 8,000. Which I think is fairly easy to get. I think if you were a legend player last season, this season, I think you'll be able to get the 8,000 reward. Last season, I only played until I got the 6,000, until I got max rewards or something like that. Because I was very busy. But now I'm going to, I'll be planning to get this 8,000, so there'll be a lot more playing on my part for this. I'll go ahead and claim this. They also are making it so that there's achievements. Let's see if I can find one for reaching overall overall trophy levels, like the Tower of Honor. So it's a Tower of Honor achievement, rather than the regular Tower of Honor. So I'm assuming that these are things that you can only claim once. So there's kind of like two different Tower of Honors. One's in the achievements and one's the regular Tower of Honor. The achievement ones can happen once per account, and the other one happens once per season, which is the one you're used to. I think I already claimed all of them, but they mostly gave legendaries for reaching different trophy milestones. I got Helena, I got a Jacob. I think there's a Hilda in there too. I can't remember. I've had lots of different legendaries that were achieved for reaching specific trophy milestones. Yeah, I think this is a great change. Obviously, this is something that everybody has been, well, not everybody, there were a few people that were against the idea, but most people were pretty bummed about the fact that the Tower of Honor didn't refresh, because it just seems like an obvious thing to do, right? You don't want to stagnate rewards, because it's going to make players discouraged, and they're going to stop playing. The player base decreases, and even those that weren't discouraged are eventually going to get discouraged, because it's, a smaller pool of players makes the game less fun. Even if you have a tight community or whatever, you still need variety in who you go against, especially because it makes stuff like ranks and whatever more messed up if there's not a large enough player base. All right, let's move into what everyone's been waiting for, the new alien cards. All right, so let's start with this one. We'll start with the Soul Tormentor. So the Soul Tormentor is a 4-cost rare alien card. It's a unit that when it summons 2 of them, and when it's played, it deals 10% non-lethal damage to the allied guardian. So it's a very strong unit, and when you play it, it hurts your own guardian. I think this is a very interesting mechanic. So if you're running 3, that's 30% damage to your guardian. It's got a lot of HP for 4 cost and summoning 2, so that's almost 1,500 at level 2, which is the base level, and then it's got 227 single target damage at base level, which is a lot of damage. That's like 450 if you take into account that it's 2 units. So it's just basically it's just a strong unit. It's just a unit that's strong, but the downside is that it kind of kamikazes your base. It just and it's non-lethal. I'm assuming this means it leaves it. I haven't done this yet because I don't think I'd played when I had low HP. But I'm assuming it just leaves you at 1 HP. And then, all right, let's go with Prime Abomination. It's a 4-cost epic unit. So when it's played, and if your allied guardian HP is above 30%, it deals 50% damage to self and 10% non-lethal damage to allied guardian. So the alien, I really like this. It's moving towards a type of hurt yourself to get stronger type of comp, right? So this means that this card, you just play it if you have 30% or less, right? So if you have 30% or less HP on your guardian, then you play it, no problem. However, if you play it when you do have more than 30% HP on your guardian, then it'll have half its HP, and it'll just do damage to your guardian. So like I said, I think this is a very interesting mechanic. Again, for 4 costs, this is really strong. It attacks very fast. It attacks very far. It's got the highest attack, I think, that I've seen at 397. And then it's pretty tanky too. 1600 HP is not anything to scoff at. So it's just a huge damage dealer, range damage dealer. And again, you can only play it when you're basically in a pinch and you got a low health guardian. So we have Soul Divider, which is the 1 cost, summons 3 of them. And when it's played, again, deals 10% non-lethal damage to the allied guardian. These are pretty weak, kind of like the Iraqlings, although a bit stronger. And again, I'm assuming the entire premise, the whole reason these exist, is just to get your guardian low. And then we have the Abomination, which is the same thing as the, I can't remember the name, it's Prime Abomination, right? So the Abomination, you play it if you have 30% or less HP, then you just play it. It's fairly strong for a 2 cost, with a 2400 HP pool, and, like 270 damage between the 2 units that are summoned. So again, these are all just units that are strong, right? They just have good stats. That's basically it. They just have huge stats. And their whole thing is they hurt your guardian, and 2 of them don't have any drawbacks if your guardian's already low. So obviously, I think this is a very interesting idea. I'm very glad that these cards were introduced to the game. And I think it'll bring about a nice variety. And I think a lot of people will use them. It seems very strong. The only problem I really have with this is that you literally can't do this against Republic, in my opinion. If they like nuke and then they do AP strafing plus Republic of the Marine drop with their Guardian skill, then you just die. Because if you have 30% HP with your Guardian, yeah, an AP strafing and a Marine drop will kill you almost if you don't respond to it immediately. So that's the only like foreseeable issue that I have with this type of play. But I definitely think it's interesting, and I'm definitely going to try it out. I don't think they're overpowered for obvious reasons, because you have to hurt yourself to be able to get it to go. But the units themselves are definitely very strong. But it's the type of thing where it's such a, not necessarily strange, but it's kind of like a wonky mechanic that it's kind of hard to tell how it's going to work out until you try it, much like the Doomwalker. It was something where a lot of people were interested about it, and it seemed like it would be strong at first, but then people started using it, and it didn't really turn out to be so strong, even if you got to a high level. So I think this will be something similar, where it seems really strong at first, except against Republic. Against Republic, it seems like assured suicide. But then it might turn out not to be so much so. I'm not sure about making the cap at 30%. I think 40% would be better. I think that would be fine. But again, like I said, it really just depends on how it actually plays out. So that being said, if you want to get these cards, you can spend $44 US. I believe it's the same thing each time. For $44, you get 1,000 Soulstones, 20 copies each of both of the common cards, 10 copies of the rare card, and 3 copies of the epic card. You can just do that 3 times. So if you've got $132 to spend, you can get them to pretty high levels. And you also get 3,000 Soulstones, but that's not really a lot considering you're spending over $100. I'll probably be getting it because I like this game a lot, and I want to throw my money at them. And it'd be nice to have these units at high level so I can test them out. So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as the Season 3 update goes. Lots of good things, and one thing that I think is terrible. But I think it'll fix itself in the end, because as always, as much as I hate what they've just done, the Rare devs are amazing. They are very good at listening to the community. They're very good at sensing what's wrong with the game. And so far, they've been really good at fixing things to improve the game. I think they might have caved too much under the pressure of all the higher ranking people that are constantly spamming their their woes in the Discord. But it is what it is. Overall, I don't think it's like the end of the world, because it won't change too much about how climbing works. I just think it's very upsetting how rank loses a lot of meaning, because I'm a very competitive player, so I like to have accurate representations of ranks, so that way, it just makes the competitiveness better, in my opinion. So I think this will be a small hiccup. I think it'll be fixed eventually. within a season or two. So I'm not too worried about it, as upset as I am. Because for the most part, I trust the devs, which is why I keep throwing money at them. So I'm expected everything to work out. So I hope you enjoyed this information dump, which is really just a rambling disguised as an information dump. I'm really excited about the season, and I hope you guys are too. Lots of new goodies to get, so I like getting goodies. And again, don't forget about that Ray Arc passing. Get your free 300 Soulstones. Speaking of goodies. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be going back to my regular stuff like coaching and the free-to-play climbing after this, and I hope you guys are looking forward to that. And as always, best of luck climbing.